Woolly Story. Welcome to my cozy little corner of YouTube, where you can unwind and drift off to sleep while listening to some soothing bedtime stories. This is the perfect place for those who want to absorb new vocabulary while listening to bedtime stories before drifting off to sleep. So get comfy, relax, and let me help you drift off into dreamland. Emma was a renowned 5-star chef in the year 2021. She had worked hard to hone her culinary skills and had won numerous awards for her creations. She had cooked for some of the most famous people in the world, and her dishes were known for their exquisite taste and beautiful presentation. One morning, Emma woke up feeling disoriented. She sat up in bed and rubbed her eyes, but when she opened them again, she found herself in a strange place that she did not recognize. She looked around and saw that everything was different. The buildings, the people, the technology, everything was beyond her imagination. She felt like she had traveled to the future. Emma was confused and scared. She had no idea how she had ended up in this strange world. She wandered around, hoping to find someone who could help her. As she walked, she noticed that everyone around her had special abilities. Some could move objects with their minds, some could fly, and some could create fire with their hands. Emma realized that she was in a world where people had evolved and developed unique abilities that she did not possess. As she continued walking, Emma started to feel more and more out of place. People were staring at her, and she could sense their curiosity and suspicion. She knew that she had to find a way to communicate with them and explain her situation. But first, she had to understand where she was and how she got there. Emma missed her old life, but she was determined to adapt to this new world. She tried to find a job, but nobody was willing to hire her. People relied on supplements to provide them with the energy and nutrition they needed to get through the day. Furthermore, she had no experience in the new industries that had sprung up in this world, such as advanced technology, biogenetics, and space exploration. She felt like she was stuck in a time warp, unable to catch up with the rest of society. As time passed, Emma's situation grew worse. She was constantly bullied and harassed by other people, who saw her as a burden on society. She was mocked for her lack of abilities and was made to feel worthless. She had no friends or family to turn to, and she felt completely alone in this new world. Despite all this, Emma refused to give up. She continued to search for a purpose in life, something that would give her a reason to keep going. One day, she stumbled upon a group of people who were trying to rediscover the lost art of cooking. They were fascinated by her culinary skills and asked her to teach them how to cook. Emma was overjoyed. For the first time since arriving in this new world, she had found something that she was good at and that made her happy. She threw herself into teaching others how to cook, and soon the group had grown into a community of food lovers. They started to experiment with new recipes and ingredients, and Emma became the leader of the group. Emma had finally found her place in this new world. She had discovered that her special ability was not a physical or mental power, but her passion for cooking. She had found a community that valued her skills and respected her for who she was. Emma was no longer an outcast, but a respected member of society. Soon, Emma's food became the talk of the town. People started to seek her out, and her restaurant became a popular spot. She created new dishes and experimented with different ingredients, always striving to make her food better. She became a local celebrity, and people respected her for her ability to bring happiness to their lives. Emma's food even caught the attention of the government. They had been struggling to find a solution to the mental health problems caused by the special abilities, and Emma's food seemed to be the answer. They offered her a position in their research team, and Emma accepted. She spent her days experimenting with different ingredients and studying the effects of food on the mind. Emma was finally living a life of purpose. She had found a way to use her culinary skills to make a difference in people's lives. Her food had become a symbol of hope and happiness in a world that had lost its way. Emma had proved to herself and the world that even without special abilities, she had the power to make a difference. The government realized the importance of Emma's culinary skills and the role of food in mental health. They provided her with the necessary resources to set up a food program that would benefit everyone. Emma's goal was to create a system that would not only provide nutritious food but also prioritize the mental health of the people. The food program started to gain momentum, and soon, it became a part of everyone's daily routine. People were happier, healthier, and more productive. The food program had a positive impact on the entire society, and Emma became a hero. She had finally found her place in the new world. She had used her passion and talent for cooking to make a difference in people's lives. She had proven that food was more than just a source of nutrition, it was a source of happiness, comfort, and mental well-being. The culinary revolution that Emma had started had transformed the society, and she had become a symbol of hope and inspiration for everyone. Emma had created a legacy that would last for generations. She had brought back the joy of cooking to a world that had forgotten it. She had shown people the power of food, and how it could not only nourish their bodies but also their minds and souls. Emma knew that she could not stay in this new world forever. She missed her family and friends from the past, and she longed to go back. But she also knew that she had a responsibility to the people of this world. She promised to continue her work and to pass on her knowledge to others so that they could carry on her legacy. She wanted to make sure that the people she had met in the new world would not forget the joy of food and the power of cooking. Emma had spent several years in the new world, teaching people how to cook, and bringing back the joy of food. But she knew that it was time to return to her own time. She had fulfilled her responsibilities, and she was eager to see her family and friends again. Emma explained her situation to the government officials. They were surprised to learn that she was from the past, but they were also grateful for her contributions. They promised to help her return to her own time. Emma was taken to a secret laboratory where she was introduced to a group of scientists who had been working on time travel technology. They had been inspired by Emma's story and had dedicated their research to finding a way to send her back to her own time. After several weeks of testing and preparations, the scientists were ready to send Emma back to her own time. They explained to her that the process was risky and that she might not survive the journey. But Emma was willing to take the risk, and she was eager to see her family and friends again. Before leaving, Emma held a grand feast for the people of the new world. She cooked some of her best dishes and shared her knowledge with the people who had become her friends. She promised to return one day and to continue her work, even if it was just in spirit. Emma's departure was bittersweet. On one hand, she was excited to reunite with her loved ones from the past, but on the other hand, she had grown to love the people and culture of the new world. As she stepped into the portal that would take her back, she looked back at the new world, taking in the sights and sounds for the last time. The time travel device was activated, and Emma was transported back to her own time. She found herself in the same kitchen where she had been transported to the new world. Everything was just as she remembered it, but she was shocked to see that several years had passed since she had left. Her family and friends were all older, but they were overjoyed to see her again. Emma shared her incredible journey with them, and they listened in amazement. She showed them the special gift that she had received from the people of the new world, a recipe book that contained all the dishes she had created during her time there. She promised to continue cooking and to share her knowledge with others, just as she had done in the New World. They were proud of her for what she had accomplished and were happy to have her back. They could see that her experience had changed her, and she was now more appreciative of the simple things in life, like food and human connection. As Emma settled back into her old life, her experience in the New World had given her a new perspective. She realized that food was not just about taste and presentation, it was about bringing people together and creating memories. She knew that her journey had been a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but she was grateful for it, and she would never forget the people she had met in the New World. And that's it for tonight's story. I hope it made you feel all warm and cozy. Join me again tomorrow for another bedtime story. Good night. Sweet dreams.